It is hard. It is hard. You know what I mean? So like I said, I mean, I put the suit on today, and you know what I mean, I put the locks out. You know what I mean? I grease the roots. I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, I came out to make myself down there, sit down here. Like a box, see that here, look. You got any more badges in here? Any badges in here? Good badges in here today, alright then. I will say it's nice to see, especially the last, say, 6 months, the black community have had around the world, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, it's been an up and down emotional time for black people around the world. It started off good at the beginning of the year, didn't it? Because we had like Black Panther came out. You know? When Black Panther came out, everybody was on the hype, innit? Everybody's on the hype and people walking around, you know what I mean? People walking into work with a kick in their step, innit? Just Wakanda signs, all the black stuff, it was that. You know, it was nice. It was just like, for me, when the movie came out, everybody was on this black conscious thing, which was kind of cool because you see like people were turning up in African attire. There were people like just chanting drums. You know what I mean? It was like the Jamaicans walking in with the full click suits. It was cool. Yeah, and it was nice to the point. It was like people just walking in there didn't even need to ask what kind of movie they were coming to see. They already knew, innit? Man was just turning up, but you know why we're here. You know what I mean? And it was nice, right? And for me, like when the movie came out, I learned so much about that movie. I took from it and put it in my everyday life. Who's seen Black Panther? Who's seen it? Yeah. Right. Remember the scene with Mbaku? Yeah. When the white guy said something in his house. Yeah. And ho! When I went to work that Monday. My boss was like, Quincy, can you do this photocopy? And I was like, ho! Anytime when the police stop me, boy, is this your car? Ho! It was a beautiful thing. It was good, and like we were walking around, you know what I mean, and we was on a really proper conscious thing, right? And for some strange reason, like the evil white Wakanda turned around and said, you know what, they're getting too happy. Let's knock them down a couple of pegs. And then they got out the Windrush. Now I will say this, the Windrush scandal, right, was for me, was a scandal, but most people inside there, it was a liberty what they've done to the Afro-Caribbean community. It was a proper liberty, right, to the point that I think the only good thing to come out of that Windrush scandal, like David Lammy stepped up. Yeah. You know what I mean? He stepped up. That's the blackest I've seen David Lammy. I ain't gonna lie to you, when he done that speech, boy, he was so black, the only thing he didn't do to enter that speech was kiss his teeth. Because when he went in the House of Parliament and he made that speech and he put his point across so elegant, right? And for me, when he said the words, when he mentioned the words, when you lay down with dogs, you will end up with fleas. And when he said it so eloquent, right, ladies and gentlemen, you know, in his head, he was like, suck your mother. You nasty, dirty bitch. And the rod. It was bad though, boy. It was bad because, you know what I mean, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean, that was directed at our parents, yeah? And we know that what our generation, our parents' generation, brought to this country back in the day. We all know that. If it wasn't for our parents' generation, you know what I mean, it was just like, you brought so much things like seasoning. If it wasn't for the Caribbean community, you bought seasoning because you know back in the day the minimum they had was salt. with the option of black pepper. It was terrible, man. My mum and dad in Barbados right now, yeah? They're in Barbados right now, ladies and gentlemen, and they even called me. They called me, right? And they were worried. My mum was like, look, what happened to this passport? Did he come back? So I got an operation in 2 months and I went to know. I see it, yeah, because I don't want to stop all customs, I want to know what they wrestle and our people brought so much to this country, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? If it weren't for our parents' generation, we wouldn't have an NHS. You know what I mean? We built that from the ground. You know what I mean? I won't say if it wasn't for our people, like the NHS wouldn't be where it is now, because it's mashed up now. You know how can't say that, you know, we built it, you know what I mean? We got it at the right time, we got it at the right time. You know what I mean? But like I said, then we had the Windrush thing, ladies and gentlemen, which was like, for me, was like, okay, they're taking the mick, and it was like this, people, the high beings were like, let's rub the salt into it even more, let's rub black people's faces even more. Let's release Kanye West. This is like, wow. This brother here, I couldn't believe it, right? You know, I was so vexed. I said, I am not supporting anything what Kanye West does anymore. But then I realised how much money I paid for them Yeezys. And I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna let him off this one time. It was bad, man, it was bad. But tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'll be up here and I'll be doing my thing. Laughter's good for the soul. Is basically, everybody knows me from a stand-up, and I'll be doing my little jokes in between and stuff like that. Everybody knows that singers don't really get a bringing, right? And I've got 2 singers here for you today who I want the show to be about. People come out on a Saturday or a Sunday night to enjoy themselves, to sing along to tunes. Like sing along to tunes like we did in our house when we were cleaning up stuff, or sing along to tunes when you was sent to your room and stuff like that. I want people to have that kind of family kind of feel. I'm not even going to curse tonight, right? There's no swear words for me tonight. You know why? Because I was raised good. And I know there's a few of my Christian friends inside here, and they've paid their money, and I don't want to upset them because I want them to come back, because the Christian pound is strong. I know they paid their ticket, they thieved the money from the offering, but I don't mind. Here you go, church, man. You see the offering go around. You see one of them £20 and £10 notes. You're like, right, that's just my rent right there. God will forgive, God will forgive. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to enjoy yourselves tonight, and any issues you have, any problems in the world, forget about for the next 2.5 hours, yeah? If you've got any problems at home, like you've left your electric on emergency, don't worry about that. If the gas is a bit low, you know, as Hammer's saying, is next time you leave your house, just plug out the fridge. That takes a lot of electric. Alright, so like I said, kick back, enjoy. Come and sit down. Sit down. Don't be shy, ain't that kind of shy. I'm not gonna pick it. Look, my people here, my Wakanda sisters. Good evening. It's in remindment, you know that in Black Panther, those Wakanda sisters, there's the security, there's strong. I'm gonna tell you this, that was the first time I've actually watched a movie and I never ogled a woman, I never looked at a woman in a sexual, physical way. That movie, those women were so sexy, it was sexy, not just like physically, but mentally, right? It's how they carry themselves, how they fought, just the whole attitude, to the point, I mean, especially the dress, to the point I told my missus, next time you come to bed, right, forget all that lingerie. You come to bed in the spear and a kente cloth. When we're about to make love, we'll do Mbombe! Mbombe! I'm like, yeah! Mbombe! Yeah, man. That's right. Get that thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna bring in our first act for you tonight. This guy here, I worked with this guy a few years ago, and I've been in touch with this guy, and you've probably seen him. He's stuff went viral. He done a tune about KFC, right? When KFC went out of chicken, yeah, and everybody was going nuts. Well, I didn't go nuts because I didn't eat chicken then, but this guy here, I'm telling you right now, that means he's gonna bring the house down. He's a reggae man, but he's got a soulful voice, yeah. And that's the only way he can get into the country, right? But, so we're doing our bit for our community, ladies and gentlemen. He's singing his way to a visa tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is his British citizen test. You are the judges. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and make some noise for my friend JJ Balderson!
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Thank you. You're being very kind, I like it, thank you. Yes, Lord. I'm going to say, but to sing, I'm glad that you think so. Oh, otherwise I would have let down myself, bless the Lord. Alright, cool. Time is running. This song I'm going to sing, right? I remember growing up with my mum, and she used to sing this song and be cooking in the kitchen and, you know, pot her bubble and everything smelled nice, you know. Would you like this one, Father? Singing in love with me, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ooh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Singing in love, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now and then I call your name, and suddenly your face appears, and it is just a crazy game regarding all with end in tears. Oh Lord, have a heart. Only it's just one mistake, keep us apart. Cause I've not been to live alone. Come turn my house into a home where I climb the stairs and turn the heat. Oh, please be there, still in love with me. Still in love with me, yeah. Oh, still in love with me, yeah. Oh, yeah. Still in love. Still in love with me. I've been still in love with me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you, my people. Thank you very much for your time. You've been very kind, man. You're not allowed. Yes, you better. Yes, you.
Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Balderson, ladies and gentlemen! Did you get your visa? Just let people know where you got coming up and your website and social media. You know, I mean, some of them are over 50 years, so MySpace. It's all right, man, it's all right.
Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it easy, yeah? Everybody knows about Google, right? Everybody knows about Google, right? Right, if you type JAYBORN, the number 2, SING, all my information, JAY.
Okay, watch this. I'm gonna make it even more easier. Everybody saw the flyer, right? Right, go back to the flyer and you'll see my name on the flyer, how it's spelled, and type it into Google and everything you need will come up. Better? Bless the Lord. We nearly get cost, you know? One more round of applause, JJ Moore, the Sing Nation boy! You know, I love when he started the show and he done the little Christian thing, because obviously a lot of us here from the Christian background and stuff like that, and it reminded me of my grandmother, you know what I mean? You know, the religious grandparents, everything they say, the Lord's names at the end of it, you know, they thank the Lord, thank the Lord. Doesn't matter what they say or what they do, you guarantee the Lord's name. Like, I remember when my grandma was alive, yeah, she'd go out for little simple things like shopping, like, I need some raw potatoes, Brussels sprouts, bar steps, thank the Lord, thank. My grandma, the first time she saw my children, yeah, she looked at my children and she was like, wait, these are your children? They look nothing like you at all. Man, you want to thank the Lord, thank the Lord, thank you. All right, boy, all right. You know what I mean? Anybody here, like the Pentecostal church, Pentecostal? Jump up church? Jump up church, you go in there, dry, come out sweaty and broke. All right, that church, man. Oh boy, anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're running behind time, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a young gentleman on stage before we go for a break so get some fresh air. I know I'm going to put the aircon on. Yeah? Are you hot? Yes. Good, buy a drink, all right? Them black moves. I'll just let you know as well, I will be filming tonight as well as in here tonight, so just to let you guys know, if you're hearing somewhere you're not supposed to be, tell me from now, I'll go home, I'll see you. Yo, Quincy, I'm getting divorces of you. Alright, so look, I'll bring this guy, I'll bring on the stage. He's going to talk to you guys. He ain't doing a set. He's going to talk to you guys for like literally no more than 5 minutes, because one of the things I want to do in this particular show, because we all know what ACLT do and stuff like that, but there's guys out there who are doing things in our community. Now this guy, I know you've seen this stuff on social media. It goes viral. He does a thing called Soapbox. Right? And he talks to people what's going on in the streets. So I'm going to bring him on stage. His name's Mckenzie. I want to give him some love, and I want you guys to really listen to what he has to say before we go for a break. So Mckenzie, give a round of applause to Mckenzie! My man Paul.
You see, I got the email about the dress code. Thank you. How are you guys? Are you going to leave the stage or are you going to leave it too?
No, I don't trust you.
Are you going to stay? First of all, I have to say that it is such a blessing to have received a phone call from Quincy, because I've been calling him for 2 years. And so he returns the call back and he says, you know what? What you're doing is quite remarkable, and I'm doing a show and I'm going to put you on the show, because I think the thing we need to do is a lot of the work that we need to do, we need to expose it to people who are like yourselves. Yeah? Because part of the work I do is it's a very simple job. When I started the Soapbox up, I had a mission to basically love my community. And somebody turned around and said to me at the time, how can one man love his community that much? And I said, the problem with the community is that we are void of love. And when I say love, I mean you showing love to him. You understand? And so I decided to go around and find these businesses or these people that needed their voices on social media, because what am I going to do? Spend all day on social media sharing rubbish? So I decided to share love through stories. And so I started to meet some really interesting people in the community, and I'm not going to go into some of you may have seen the videos. People keep saying to me, was you talking to a drug dealer on the wall? I was talking to a drug dealer on the wall. because that's where the work has got me. Because now I'm doing a lot of youth work, and so I'm working with a lot of families around how we can repair the community. Because as well, you know, we hear all this thing on the, you know, the news. We look and we say the government's failing our children. The government's. Let me tell you what is wrong with our children right now. What's wrong with our children is that they cannot see a community. They see the marches, they watch those go by, but they don't look out their windows and see. Do you remember when you spoke about the Windrush parents, isn't it? There's one thing about the Windrush generation. They were very visible in the community. And they tried really, really hard to make things work. So I'm kind of using the same model as that, is to try and bring those values back to the community using people's stories. So I don't need to go on social media and share the video of somebody being stabbed to death. But what I can do is I can go out, investigate, and then do a video that's going to make parents more aware of what's going on in their children's life. Does that make sense? Yeah? So that's what I started to do with my mission. And the strangest thing is this, is when you start doing something that you love, especially when you do it. Sorry, I'm going to start this whole thing again. Give yourselves a round of applause just for being here. Because if I don't say, you know what I mean, I've got to say this, but what I'm going to say is this, is that in a short amount of time, we can change as people. And we can rebuild whatever is broken, not only in our community, in our businesses, not only in our businesses, but in our families, not only in our families, but in the relationships we have. We can do that. Nobody else can do that. I've helped some businesses. I helped a woman in Lewisham, and I know you've seen the video. It was a hairdressing shop in Lewisham, and the shop either side was going to close her down. And so I went to see her and I asked her, what's your story? What do you need your community to help you with? And do you know what? After we did that video, she opened another shop in Peckham. And she was employing staff. So the model really works. All it is just showing care and love for your fellow man. And as I walk around the community, and people say to me all day, why do you do this? Why do you do this? Because somebody has to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because when my son grows up, I want him to look out in the community, whether I'm here or not, and say, that's what a community looks like. I don't want to look out the window and go, you know what, Dad, I'm afraid to go to the shop. I want him to look out the window and go, I want to go to the shop, and if I do something wrong on the way, my man's going to bust my ass. Because that's my dad's friend. You remember that, innit? That's my dad's friend. And so, a lot of you don't know this, I did stand-up comedy for 10 years. I did, and you're looking so shocked like yeah, you're funny. I did it for 10 years, and I decided to use what God gave me the gift to do was to talk. And so I started to use it to impact the lives of the people I came involved with. Because I sat up there and somebody just poked her head around the dark door and went, is there a seat issue? Oh my God, it's Paul Mckenzie! Now that to me is not ego. That to me is saying that I connected with her in some way.
Mm-hmm. Took her a seat.
I did take a seat. and a drink. and to cut a long story short, she did go on to say you're thieving bastard, but that's all good. But part of the episode, I just really appreciate the opportunity to stand here in my shorts on a hot day in the middle of Stratford and just have an opportunity to really give you some love.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Mckenzie. You see these guys outside, talk to him, exchange numbers. Obviously I'm talking to the man there, don't give me no number because he's not going to bust his ass. But what I'm going to do, we're going to have a break now, ladies and gentlemen. What I'll say, if you've got VIPs, wristbands, get yourself a drink, yeah, and you can go upstairs, and you can mingle upstairs. Somebody upstairs look after you, and then the rest of the guys, you can obviously mingle downstairs, go outside, get some fresh air. I know, VIPs that go to the bar, buy yourself a drink. Is it? Do you know what? this is what I love about black shows. You could tell me that shit after. you told me that shit halfway through the show. And by the way, I can't park. The centralized park test. Do you know what when they serve you? How tall are you? When they serve you, was you? I'll get you served. All right. Serve Papa Smurf, please, I beg you do. Ladies and gentlemen, go for a short break. Let's see these guys in 15 minutes. One more round of applause, JJ Bull the scene, ladies and gentlemen. DJ.